Hello everyone, welcome to a new series, The Making of a ROM Hack. So the point of this series is for anyone who's on the fence about actually making themselves a Pokemon ROM hack. If you don't know what goes into it, if you have enough time or could put in the effort, it's essentially just going to be me recording myself making a ROM hack, so everyone knows what it really does take. So the first thing I want to start out with is making ourselves a map so that I know when I get into the actual ROM what I'm going to be doing. So I have our water part of the map laid out here already, and I've got all my assets right here, so I'll show you how to do this. So right here I have the darkest green. That's going to use for the outline of the region, and I have a little sketch right here of what I want it to look like. So we'll just draw that on here real quick, just roughly like that, and another one right here, and one up here, and just a couple islands right here. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So now that we have the outlines, we're going to want to fill those in. So we'll start with just the basic lowland here, which will be this one here. We'll come back over and select all this fun stuff. Can I get that all at once? I can. Fill, come here, fill, and then the islands. And I want that too. 2, 3, we'll just use this. Okay, so now we have all of that figured out. We have another decision to make, and that's going to be about mountains. So I'll just select this one area here, what we start with, and we'll go over here. So these 4, not 3, 4, are used for showing the different elevations on a map. I believe that this would be a Gen 4 map. I think that the Gen 3 ones are a little bit different, even though I'm making a Gen 3 hack, but whatever. So this one is the basic flatland, at sea level, would connect to a beach. This one would be higher, this one's a little bit higher, and this one's for mountains. So we'll take this, and we don't want any massive mountains on this region, so we'll just put some highlands on it. One here and some highland there. There we go. And a little valley in between. So now we'll go and we'll fill that in. We'll do that, like that, and like that. So since we don't want any giant mountain ranges on this island, we won't put any. We'll just take this, that right there, one little area there, one right there. Fill those in. Real easy. We might put a little bit of mountain area on there just to, oh, I don't have that completely filled in. Just to make it look a little better, because, I don't know, that just looks a little bland if you ask me. Well, I think right here that looks good, but on this part we'll put a mountain. So fill that in, and we'll just put this whole big area as a higher part. And I probably won't have any routes intersecting that. Maybe one will go through it for like a cave, but I don't think anything's going to be going through the actual mountain. So we'll select the mountain color, come back, and just like that. And now we have a mountain on our map. So that takes care of this side of the map for now. We'll have to come back though. So we'll go over here. On this part we want a large mountain range for the player to cross. So we'll come back, actually we don't have to do that anymore, we'll just select right here. We'll put this here, big old part of it, like that, fill it in. Do it the same with the next shade, big area, fill it in, just like that. And now put our actually mountain on there. If I can select the fill button. There we go. So we get our mountain, and we'll put it in going like this. Just like that. Now we got ourselves a large mountain range for the player to cross. Now over here on our islands, these two I might just leave like that. This one we'll put the next level. But since they're such small little areas, they don't really need much texturing like that. They look good like that. Okay, so now that we have that, we need to go in and do the most annoying part of making a map. We need to fill in the shore parts. So that would be this texture. Okay, so zoom in real close and go to the top, and we'll just start over here. So any part of the map where it would be, hang on, I messed that up. You would be able to see the shoreline, like say, hang on. Say you're standing right here and you'd be looking forward at the map. Any part of the shore that lines up with your vision, you need to put sand on. So right here, this all lines up with my vision, but this back part doesn't, so it doesn't need any. And this is incredibly easy to do. It's just time consuming to do on your entire map, but it really makes it look a lot nicer. And we're gonna select this because I don't want to keep backtracking when I mess it up. There we go. And after we do this, we're gonna have to go back and put waves crashing on it. You don't really have to do this for your map. It looks decent without it, but I think it's just a little extra step that's gonna really pull it all together. So you see, this entire area up here, I wouldn't be able to see, so I don't have to put anything there. But we'll come down here, and you would see this, so we'll fill that in. Just like that. Oops. And then we'll have to go over and do the next one, which will have the majority of it filled in. Actually, I think I have to fill in that entire map. Let's jump on over. Okay. So there it is. Yeah, this whole thing's gonna need it. We'll probably start over here with the waves. I'll put a download link in the description of this video for my map assets file, so that you can download that to make your own map. And if you do that, send me a picture of it so I can check it out. I'd be interested in seeing any ROM hacks anyone makes using my tutorials. Shit. I'll probably just fast forward through this part. Here. Okay, and we're back. So now we've got all that taken care of, we're to come and we're gonna grab our wave texture. And we'll come back over here, and this is done the exact same way. You just put a little wave on each shoreline so that you can see the water crashing and know that that's a beach. And this is also another unnecessary step, just to make it look a little nicer. You don't need to do this. I've seen some tutorials where they don't do this, some where they say you really should. I think it makes it look nicer, but I really don't think it's a mandatory thing to do. I don't think any of this shoreline stuff is mandatory, but this is the map that I'm wanting to use for in-game, and it's better to just put that little extra effort in it to really have something to show off, because the player's gonna have to look at the map quite a bit for your game. At least I know I do when I'm playing Pokemon games. And if you have a little bit more interesting map when you add this stuff in, it makes it less confusing to look at, because the slight difference that this adds really does a lot in making the map look actually different from place to place. And that's the problem that I'm really having with some more of the newer Pokemon games as opposed to these ones. The maps just all look the same because they're not built like this anymore. They're just built kind of more like the drawings are of the older maps. Like if you look at a Johto or Sinnoh drawing, it's like that. And especially in Pokemon Moon, I just have such a hard time telling anywhere apart in that game. Okay, well, we're gonna fast forward through this too. Okay, so now that we have all that taken care of, we'll do this so we can get a look at it. And that's looking good. So now we have all that drawn, we can start adding our towns and stuff. So right here we have, this would be a small city, small town, big city, moderate town, moderate city. So for a start base, we'll actually do a little town. And we will start on the bigger island. No, we'll start down here on the smaller one, right here. Oh, my mistake. Go back, new layer for this. Now we'll start right here. So you'll start here, and the next place we're gonna have you go is up here to the next city, which will just be a little bit bigger town, not a real city. Just like this. And when you're doing this, make sure that you plan meticulously where each town is placed, because you need to be able to connect them with routes. And it's okay if they're not lined up just right, because you can move the routes around a bit. But if you are to do that, then you need to have an actual bend in the route in game, you know. If I had this right here, then I'd come up and over and up, and I would actually need to put that in there, or else it's just confusing. So next we'll go right over here to, how do I want to line this up? I'll just line it up like that. There we go. Right here to the first city. And from there we'll cross over the mountain over to, to right here. And for this mountain, we'll have you actually go on the mountain. So you'll come right here to the next little city. So if you got one city here, each big city, when I lay out a map, only the big cities have gyms. The smaller cities have important areas in them, like a lab, a special event area, things like that. But only the big cities get gyms. So now we'll take a bigger town, and let's see, you'd come down right here. So we'll have you come down over and up to here, and then we'll take you over to a port city. And that's where the second gym would go. So now we have two gyms, one here and one here, and we'll put that right on the water, so it'll be an actual port city. From there you could travel down to right here, where we'll put another gym city, like that. So here's the design of our first map. Let me go grab our colors. We have this one for the outline of a map, and this one for the inline. So I'm just going to do this for this because it'll be easier. Connect these with, why are you not doing that? Why are you doing that? Go down to here. You want to do it? You're not wanting to do it. Also, I have Eclipse selected. That's a mistake. What is the situation? Why are you doing that? That's kind of weird. Can I draw? I can't. Oh, it's because I've secondary selected. Now will you? No. That's strange. Okay, just a second. Okay, my bad. I didn't have the entire map selected. Okay, so now, like that, oops, not like that. Two outlines and an inline. No, not that. My bad. Okay, and an inline. So there's our first route. And then we need to connect this town to this city. So inline, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 6. Try to keep your routes evenly separated, if you know what I mean, because it makes it look better, and it'll look strange if you have one that's got 6 long inline, one that's got 5, one that's got 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just like that. Okay, fill it in. First 2 routes. So next you'll come up here into the mountain. Try to line this up right. Stop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like that. And then we'll have it bend to go up. And then we'll have 1, 2, 3. That's going to turn out weird. I messed that up. We want this to connect it, not that. And this one comes down to here. And then we'll connect them right here. And this one actually has 2 routes to it, you'll see. This is what I was talking about with having your routes and your cities lined up correctly. Because now here where this turns, this has to be one route and this has to be one route. It doesn't actually have to be separate, but it should come out and the route should begin. I'm sorry, I just knocked my ladder over. It should begin coming right and then have a turn to go up. Okay, so then we will come up here and we'll give you a little bit more of a linear style here to give the player more of a sense of exploration. We'll let them go either way. Right, like that. One like that. That looks kind of strange, doesn't it? Okay, here's what we'll do. We'll add one more and one more. Connect it like that, and this one won't connect quite right. And that looks better. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like that. Connect them both, and then fill them in. And then we have 2 more routes. So from here, we'll connect these 2. It's very important when you're connecting, or when you're building a region, that you think about how everything's going to connect. Because take something, just one second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take a region like Sinnoh, for example. It's just not properly connected. You got that giant mountain right in the middle. And don't get me wrong, Sinnoh Gen 4 is probably my favorite generation, but the map's just designed horribly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because nothing's really connected. You have to walk everywhere in the beginning, because as I remember, it takes a very long time for you to get fly, and you can't say walk. What did I just mess up? Walk from Orberg and have a route connecting somewhere along the way to whatever city you need to backtrack to, like in Johto. Johto is connected wonderfully. So here we have our first region, or not region, we have our first area, and we'll connect here too. What's important when you're connecting this is to keep in mind where you're making these connections to, because you can't just have this open, because from here and here there will be a big level difference between the Pokemon, so you need to have some kind of HM separation barrier here, like put a rock that needs strength or a tree that needs cut that you can't get by yet until, say, you complete this gym. So from the way we're looking at this part of the region here, you will start here, you'll come up here, first badge, come up to this city, you can come up here, you can either go left to this town or right here and get your second badge. Come down, this will be connected, you'll be able to just go up here to begin with. Then when you come down here, you can use the HM you unlocked here to open up this path so that it's all connected again, and then come down here and go to this city where you'll get your third badge, and this is the port city that will take you right here. Another example is Mount Moon, I believe, in Kanto. When you get there, there's just, I need to go back. You go through Mount Moon and then you're stuck there for the majority of the game. You can't go back if you need to, for some reason, go to Pallet Town or Viridian Forest. I need to go do something real quick. Alright, so as I was saying, it makes it extremely hard to backtrack, and I find that very unattractive in a region, because if you can't go back, then say you need a Kakuna to complete your Pokedex, right? And I'm a person who likes to do that along the way. So I'm going along, and then I realize, hey, I forgot to get a Kakuna while I was in Viridian Forest. Well, now I can't go back and get one. I have to go through all this stuff until I can backtrack and grab it. So I should really be focusing on the design of my region instead of complaining about other ones. So you'll come here to this port city, come up to a connecting city, and how these ones work is this should be an exit and this should be an exit, right? So you'll come over here and we'll put another badge city there. So that makes 4 of these. Oops, I'm not selected. So that makes 4 badge cities. Copy, paste. And we'll make it another coastal city. And then you can come up here and we'll put another small town here. Now, if you're going to do little areas like the Chateau in Gen 4, I usually won't actually give those an icon on the map. I'll just put that on a region, or have a region, not a region, a route, and have that route dead end into there. And that's how I'd set something like that up. So then these two will connect right here, and we'll put a smaller town. We'll put a city there, actually. Not a town, not a city. That's right the first time. Put that right here. Okay, we'll try to get this lined up decently. Zoom. Okay, so 4, come up here, and now we've got all this area to explore. So we'll start, this will come up like this, and we'll have it T, and we'll put another gym right over here. So we'll put this one right here off to the side of it, down inside the valley. And then we'll have another gym. We're not quite here yet, but I'm just going to place one here before I forget. I want one on this island too. So now we're up to 4, 5, 6. So come up here, T this way, go up this way, and that way. So if you were to come over here, we'll select this again. And we're going to want to turn this actually. So select, and then we'll create a new, and if you have a different editing Photoshop software, I guess, than me, then you might have to do things a little bit differently. But I would recommend using paint.net for making a map. It's free to get. You're, in my experience, gonna be able to get it off a very reliable, safe website. And I've really never had any problems with it. It always does exactly what I need it to do. This is turning into a commercial. I'll stop. If you're gonna make a map, get paint.net. I've never used Photoshop, like oops, screwed that up again. I've never used actual Photoshop, so I wouldn't know. I just prefer this to anything else. Put another little town right here. So this route would connect all here, come up to here, T this way, come up here, T that way, and lead into here. So then these two would connect right here and go up to this. So this one's 7. And then this one will lead up here, and we'll put a small town up there. Just a little side area. It's nice to have those in your region, I think.